Hello, let me start my personal transcription. Hello, let's continue where we left. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's a markup language for creating web pages. When you visit a web page and content like paragraphs, headings, links, images, and videos, that's HTML, obviously. It's the content. Here is a small example using HTML elements. Try it in some of the elements in the editor and see the changes in the preview window. Yes, that makes sense. So this is the H1, the main heading, and this is a paragraph. HTML represents the content and structure of a web page through use of elements. Start and end tags. In between the tags, there will be the content. And this content can be text or other HTML elements. Okay, so the task here is to change the content in the paragraph element to I love coding and see the results in the preview window. Yes, I see the result. Closing tag start with a left angle and end with a right angle. The tag name placed between these angle brackets for HTML tag names are case insensitive. It is widely accepted to write them in lowercase. Here is a closer look at just the opening and closing paragraph tags. What distinguishes from an opening tag from a closing? Forward slash placed immediately after the left angle on the closing tag. Do not have these are known as void elements. Here is an example of image element which is a void element. Notice that the image element does not closing tag and it doesn't have any content. Void elements cannot have any content and only have a start tag. Sometimes you will see void elements that use slash before the many coding formatters like include the slash the HTML spec states presence of slash forward slash doesn't mark the starting tag as self-closing but instead is unnecessary and has no effect of any kind. In the real world development you see both forms. It's important to be familiar with both. If you want to display an image, you'll need to include a couple of attributes inside your image element. Right. Mute is special value used to adjust behavior for an HTML element. Here is an example. So attributes help in adjust the behavior of a HTML element. Here is an example of an image element source attribute. Okay, let's see. Let's change this source attribute to this, and that should change the image here. Nice. The source attribute used to specify location for that image. For image element is to include another attribute called the alt attribute used to provide short descriptive text for the images. Try breaking the image. Let's see. Oh, so alt is useful because whenever there is something wrong with our source and our image doesn't load, this alt text shows up. The answer is it depends. If you are building a small practice project that only displays text and images, HTML might be so. However, if you are creating a modern project, you'll need to have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML is the content assurance. CSS is for styling, adding interactivity to your web pages. A good analogy for this is to compare with a complete building. HTML, the blocks, concrete, and irons that make up the walls that makes building insurance. It represents the interior and exterior that makes the house look beautiful. Electrical and water that ensures uninterrupted access to water and electricity. Hypertext markup language and is the current syntax for closing tag. Following is a valid attribute used inside the image tag source. What are attributes and how do they work? An attribute is a value. An attribute is a value placed inside the opening tag of an HTML element. Attributes provide additional information about element or specify how the element should behave. Okay. So attributes are written inside the opening tag of a HTML tag. The attribute name is followed by equal sign and a value in quotes. The value can be a string or a number depending on the attribute. The first example Uses href and target attributes, specifies the URL of the link, specifies where to open the link. Okay. I need to change this href to this link. I can just remove news here. Without the href header, the link would not work because there would be no destination URL. So you must include this href attribute to make the link functional. Okay, href shows what the destination is. The target equal to blank enables the link to open in a new browser tab. You'll learn more about the target attribute in future lessons. To open in a new browser tab, you'll learn more about the target attribute in future lessons. Other common attributes are source and alt or alter. It is used to specify the source of an image and provide alternative descriptive text for the image respectively. Enable the change the source to yes. Similar to the href attribute, the source attribute is required because it specifies the image file to be displayed. Yes, the alt attribute is not required but it is recommended for accessibility purposes, making sure that everyone, including those with disabilities, can use and understand things like websites, apps, and physical spaces. More about in upcoming lessons. Okay, some attributes are a little unique with their syntax, like the checked attribute. Enable the interactive editor and try clicking was in the preview to see it alternate between a checked and unchecked state. In the follow example, we have an input element with type attribute set to checkbox. Events are used to collect data from users, and the type attribute specifies a type of input. Type attribute specifies the type of input. In this case, the input is a checkbox. You'll learn more about how inputs work in upcoming lessons. Check the attribute is used to specify that checkbox should be checked by default. The checked attribute does not require a value. It is present, the checkbox will be checked by default. If the attribute is not, checkbox will be unchecked. They are known as Boolean attribute. You will learn about booleans in general when you get to the JavaScript section. Enable the interactive editor and try removing the checked attribute from the input. The checkbox is no longer checked by default. Yeah, makes sense. There are several common Boolean attributes you'll encounter in HTML, such as disabled, read only, required. These attributes are used to specify the state of an element, such as whether it is disabled, read only, or required. Here is an example of text input element that is disabled by default. Enable the try click input element. See, I can't. Let's continue. Example of disabled. Now remove the disabled from the input element and you'll see the input is no longer disabled by default. You should now be able to click in and type inside the field. Hi, yeah, but when I have it disabled, yeah, it's disabled. HTML has many attributes that can be used to customize the behavior and appearance of elements on a web page. Understanding how to use attributes is essential for creating interactive and accessible web content. Over the next few lessons, you'll learn about more HTML attributes and how to use them effectively in your web development projects. So the following is an example of Boolean attribute. disabled, because for all these others we need to give a value. What is the role of an attribute in HTML? Help define behavior of changes to fonts. It's this one. HTML attributes provides additional info and help define behavior of HTML elements. So the following is current syntax for a Boolean attributes. Boolean attribute. Okay. Yeah, checked shouldn't have any value assigned. That's checked is true by default. So where are we? Okay, let's see this. Debug a pet adoption page. Debug a pet. Sally, a pet adoption store owner, has built her first web page, but there are some issues. Your job is to fix all the errors so Sally can continue building her page. Objective: fulfill the user stories below and get all the tests to pass to complete the lab. Okay. Wants to use an image of some cats, but it's not displaying correctly. You'll need to fix the following in the image element. Okay, here is the image element. Replace the with the correct attribute for the image source. Okay, source. Replace att attribute with the correct attribute representing short description text for images. That should be alt. Remove closing image. Image elements are void and do not have a closing tag. Yes, makes sense. Sally wants to use some links to direct users to dog and cat pages, but the links aren't over. Need to fix the following in the A elements. Replace both so with the correct attributes used to specify URLs. href. I think that is it. Let's test and see if we did everything. Yeah, that's done. How long has it been? It's roughly 15 minutes. I'll take a short 1-2 minute break. I'm back. What is the role of a link element in HTML and how can it be used to link external style sheets? Okay, so this is all about link tag. The link element is used to link to external resources like style sheets and site icons. Okay, here is the basic syntax for using link element for an external CSS file. So we have a rel attribute to specify the relationship between the linked resource and the HTML documents. In this situation, we need to specify that this linked resource is a style sheet. Now, linked resource and HTML document. Specify the relationship between. Okay, it is considered better to separate your HTML in different files. Element for the external CSS file instead of writing everything in the HTML document. The href attribute is used to specify the location of the URL for the external resource. The href attribute is used to specify the location of the followed by forward slash. The example tells the computer to look in the current folder or directory for the style.css file. Okay. Okay, link is placed in the head tag. Times you'll see multiple link elements inside a professional code base that link to different style sheets, fonts, and icons. Here is an example of using to link an external Google font called Playwright Cuba. A set of free and open source customers that you can use inside any project. You can choose which fonts you would like to use, and Google will provide you with the necessary HTML and CSS code. This example, the pre-connect area of the server to create an early connection to the pre-connect. In this example, the pre-connect value for the rel attribute tells the browser to create an early connection to the value specified in the href attribute. This is done to speeding up loading times for these external resources. Another common use case for the link element is to link to icons. Example of linking to a favicon. Link to icons. Okay. What is the role of the link element in HTML? This is the one. The role of rel attribute inside the link element. It is used to specify relationship between linked resource and the HTML document. What is a favicon? Mm, mm. A small icon typically designates a browser tab next to the site title. This is it. What is a HTML boilerplate and why is it important? Let's learn about HTML boilerplate. It's like a ready-made template for your web pages. Think of it as foundation of a house. A boilerplate includes the basic structure and essential elements every HTML document needs. It saves you time and helps you. Pages are set up properly. Here is an example. So we have a opening and closing HTML tags, and here the language is English. Meta tag, another meta tag. Title should be the page title. Link to CSS. Empty body. Doc type declaration. It tells browsers which version of HTML you are using. Next comes the HTML tag. Next comes HTML tag. This wraps around all your content and can specify the language of your page. Inside the HTML tag, you will find two main sections, a head and a body. So in head, we write the important metadata, and in body, we write the actual elements. Important behind the scenes information, metadata contained in meta elements as details about things like character encoding and how websites like Twitter should preview your page link content, your site's title element, text that appears in the browser tab or window. Finally, you'll typically link your page external style sheets in the head section using link elements. Hmm. The body section is where all your content goes. The body section is where all your content goes. Yeah, the headings and images and whatever. Now, evaluate ensures your pages are structured correctly and work well across different using one common and follow best. It's a great starting point for any web project. Remember, you can customize your own boiler to fit your needs. As you can agree, you might add your own preferred elements or meta tags as you continue to improve your personal boilerplate. You'll find that it saves you time when starting new projects. Okay, where would you set the character encoding of your page? Character encoding is a metadata, a meta element in the head. Where would you set the language of your page? Oh, the opening HTML tag. What purpose does a boilerplate serve? Ask you to get started writing the content of your page faster, all of the above. Seems another step is left before we finish this section. Yeah, I'll take a break after this. What is UTF-8 character encoding and why is it needed? Widely character encoding is the method computers use to store characters as data. Yeah, essentially all text on a web page is a sequence of characters stored as one or more bytes. Stored as one or more bytes. Mm. Supports character Unicode character set symbols from all writing systems, languages, and technical symbols. Character is displayed correctly on the way. There is an extended code example for using UTF-8 character. For each new project you create, you should include a meta element in the character set to UTF-8. Okay. Jadi you set UTF-8 character encoding, char set. What is character encoding? Method computer to store characters as data. many bits are inside a byte? 8 bits. Yeah, that's done. So here we are done with this section too. Let's let's see. This is a workshop, right? Yeah, I'll take a short break and come back. Give me like 3 4 minutes. I'm back. Let's go with the cat photo app. It's going well. Like I finished like what's 18 out of 128. So the current progress is like 15%. Let's. I think this itself takes a lot. So once I finish, that would be 60 out of 128. But again, it won't be like linear, right? Anyways, let's do this. Here is a preview of what you'll build. Okay, right here I see here is the H1, a H2 or H3, a um, paragraph, and in that a anchor tag, similar, an image tag, another heading, probably these are similar. I guess these are H3s, a H4, I guess. This is a list, and I get, I guess this image is also part of the list. I'm not sure. And there is a text, and here is an italic text. Another, there is another heading and another list, and also image, and also another p tag and a link hashtag anchor tag. You'll continue to working with basic HTML elements like headings, paragraph, and list by building a cat photo app. Begin the workshop by adding H1 element with the text cat photo app. Let me do that. Add a H2 element with the text. Okay, that's a H2 heading. I thought it's H3. Actually, we don't need spaces, right? Okay, that's a win again. Create a P element below your H2 element and give it the following text. Okay, below H2, they want me to create a P, and everyone loves cute cats online. Cool. Commenting allows you to leave messages without affecting the browser display. It also allows you to make code interactive. A comment in HTML starts with, okay, let me, exclamation, hyphen, hyphen, okay, and it closes with hyphen, hyphen, closing. Example of comment with the to do remove H1. Add a comment above P element with the text to do add link to cat photos. What's next? HTML has some elements that identify different content areas. These elements make your HTML easier to read with help and help with search engine and accessibility. The main element is used to represent the main content of the body of an HTML. Content inside main element should be unique to the document, be repeated in other parts of the document. The main element is used to represent the main content of the body of an HTML document. Content inside main element should be unique to the document and should not be repeated in other parts of the document. In section of this page by adding a main opening tag before the h1 element and the main closing tag after the p element. Identify the main section of this page by adding a main opening tag before the h1 element and a main closing tag. Okay, got it. Put all of this inside a main tag. Can I? Yeah, let's see. Step you put p element inside the main. This is called nesting. Nested element should be placed two places further to the right of the element. The nested in this spacing is called indentation and it is used to make HTML easier to read. Intended to space more than a p. I just did that. Yeah. You can add images to your web by using the image element. Image element have an opening tag without a closing tag. Yes, it's a void element. An element without a closing tag is known as void element. Add an image element below the no image will show up in the browser. Attributes are used inside the opening tag of an element to control the element's behavior. Yes, an image element specifies the image's URL where the image is located. Here is an element of an image with a source attribute pointing to Freecodecamp logo. Okay. Inside the add a source attribute with this URL. Okay. Source equal to oh, that's cute. Let me check. All image elements should have an alt attribute. The alt attributes text is used for screen readers to improve accessibility and is displayed if the image fails to load. So that's an important thing to have for accessibility. Alt equal to a cute orange cat lying on its back. You can link to another page with the anchor element. Here is an example linking to Freecodecamp. Add an anchor element after the paragraph that links to okay anchor tag href equal to this is the link. Is it a working link? Oh, nice. That's so cool. At this point, the link won't show up in the preview. Yeah, makes sense. A tag doesn't have any content inside it. Add the anchor text cat photos to the anchor element. This will becomes the links text. Okay. Add the word see more before the anchor element and in our gallery after the anchor element. In our gallery. There is a space. But shouldn't all this be in a p tag? Right now, even I am the one taking help. I'll definitely become a supporter when I earn. Add p tags to turn. Yeah, that's what. P. P. Yeah, now this is a paragraph on its own. Turn the existing text cute cats into anchor element that links to. Where is cute cats? Okay, here it is. Here is the link. Nice. So here I'm done with 14 steps. As we have seen, like this completely have some 42 steps. I'll take a short break. See, like I really like working with very minor breaks in between. Yeah, 15 minutes of focused work and a 2-minute break is always fine. Yeah, so I'm on a short break right now. Continue. Let's continue. To open links in a new tab, you can use the target attribute uh, target equal to underscore blank opens the link document in a new tab or window. Here is the basic syntax of a element with target attribute. Yeah, we'll just add target equal to blank. So what should I do now? Add a target attribute with the value to anchor elements opening tag so the link opens in a new tab. Let me copy this. Yeah, cool. Let me test it out. Now that you have added the link, you can remove the comment. Okay. In previous steps, you used an anchor element to turn text into a link. Yes. Other types of content can also be turned by wrapping it in anchor tags. Here is the element of, here is an example. Here is an example of turning an image into a link. Okay, we just wrap the image tag within the anchor tags. Element tags. Okay. This image tag we should have it inside an anchor tag and we used to href this link. Before adding any new content, you should make use of a sexual element to separate the cat photo content from the future content. Okay. Before adding any new content, you should make use of section element to separate the cat photos content from the future content. The section element used to define sections in a document such as chapters, headers, footers, or other sections in the document. It's a semantic element that helps with SEO and accessibility. Okay. H2 P elements. Oh, I forgot to close this. It's time to add a new section. Add a section element below the existing section element. Within the second, add a new H2 element with the text cat lists. Cat lists. When you add lower rank heading element to the page, it's implied that you are starting a new subsection. Oh, after the last H2 element of the second section, and add a H3 element with the text things cats love. Okay, nice. To create an unordered list of items, you can use UL elements. UL element after H3 element, add text. Text add an unsorted list element. Note that nothing will be displayed at this point. Okay, so for unordered list, it seems like UL is the tag. The LA element used to create a list item in an ordered or unordered list. Here is an element of list items in an unordered list. Now you have next to three list items to display three things catalog. Nice. So UL is unordered list and each element in the list we write it using li list items. After the unordered list, add a new image with source attribute value set to this and alt attribute value set to this. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do it. Image source equal to this and alt equal to this. Close the image tag. Figure element represents self content and will allow you to associate an image with a caption. Oh, the figure element represents self-contained content and will allow caption next to the image you just added with a figure element. Okay, figure and next this. A figure caption element. A figure caption element. A figure caption element is used to add a caption to describe the image contained within the figure element. An example of a caption element with the caption of a cute cat. So here the fig caption is cats love lasagna. Close the fig caption. That's done. To place emphasis on a specific word or phrase, you can use the em element. Emphasize the word love in the fig caption element by wrapping it in an. Oh, yeah, this is emphasis. Let's, yeah, after the figure element, add another h3 element with the text. Top three things cats hate. Yes, this is done. I'll be back. I'm back again. So we are done with 28. Let's continue and finish this. The code for an ordered list is similar to an unordered, but the list item in an are numbered when displayed. Below H3 element, add an unordered list with these list items. Okay. Seems like for ordered list we need to use this. Once that is created, each list item cats hit other cats. Let's see. Yeah, this is done. After the ordered list, add another figure element. Okay, let's add open and close figure. So what should be part of it? Inside the figure, add image with source. Yeah, the image is added to improve the accessibility of the image. Obviously the alternate for the screen readers and to display when the image doesn't load for any reason. Nice. But we'll have a fig caption, right? Image then fig caption. I expected this. Cats hate other cats. Now we have the last few things left. The strong element used to indicate that some text is strong importance or urgent. In Figma, you indicate the hint is strong importance by wrapping it in a strong element. Strong. The footer element is used to define a footer for the document. Or section. If if a footer typically contains information about the author of the document, copyright data, link to terms used, contact information, and more. Okay, links to terms of use, contact, and more. After that, add a footer element. Yes, I just did. Next, a p element with the text. Okay, a p element. With the text. Yeah, we got it. Let's continue. Turn the existing frequent text into a link by enclosing it an anchor tag with href attribute set to href equal to close the anchor tag. Do we include type target equal to? No need. Okay. Notice that everything to the page so far is inside body element. All page contains elements that should be rendered to the page go inside the body element. However, other important information goes inside the head element. The head element is used to contain metadata about the document such as its title, link to style sheets and scripts. The information about the page that isn't displayed directly on the page. Add a head element above body. Head, close head. Title element that determines what browser should show in the title bar. Cat photo app slash title. Notice that the entire contents of the page are nested within an HTML element. The HTML is the root element of HTML and wraps all content on the page. You can also specify the language of your can also specify the language of your by adding lang attribute to the HTML element. Lang equal to English. It's done. All pages should begin with doc-type. This specified string is known as declaration and ensures that the browser tries to meet industry-wide specifications. Tells the document is a HTML file, which is the latest version of HTML. And the declaration, add this declaration as the first line of the code. Okay. So this is there to say that this document is a HTML5 document. You can set bro by adding meta elements in that head. Here is an example. Inside the header, nest a meta element with a char set attribute. Meta element with a char set attribute. This is UTF-8. UTF-8. It's a void element. Yeah, so cat photo app is done. What I'll do is I'll save a copy of this to my computer. Work Freecodecamp mkdir 001 cat photo app cd code space dot. index.html. Let me show this. Nice. This is done. So yeah, 60 out of 128 is done. Let me log this and take a break. So we worked for close to 1.5 hours. I think that's pretty good. 60 steps done. Um, out of 128 steps done under basic HTML. So yeah, so if I finish the remaining things, then I would be done with basic HTML. Let's see. Log message. Actually, this logging is so good. Once everything is done, I'll use this to analyze how much I have worked and all. So yeah, I'll be taking a break now. Bye bye. I'll start stream again whenever I'm back.